You know what to do.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I'm your host, Josh, and today I have my two co-hosts, Nick and Neil. Today, how's it going, guys?
It is going great. Just been busy at work, busy in the gym, and watching a whole bunch of great movies and TV.
Yeah, it's a busy time in media today. Got a lot of stuff on right now, and a lot of stuff to discuss there. I'm going to be gone for the most part of it, but Nick will be taking over there while I'll be gone for the next few weeks there. So that is pretty good there. He's going to be wrapping up. Invincible's going to be done when I'm gone. Daredevil's going to be done when I'm gone. The boys will about to start to wrap up. They only have like one more episode when I come back, so he's pretty much covered most of that. Then there's Euphoria, so I think most of that will be over with. I think they're doing.
Yep. I thought I was eating good for the most part, but somebody has to come in and shit all over that shit all over my good time.
Yeah, good old Euphoria.
That's why I can't have nice things.
I mean, say what you will about Euphoria, but Sam Levinson, he will not bore you, if nothing else.
Sam Levinson is one of the directors of all time.
There's a lot of stuff there. Then a lot of stuff in the future there as well. We got to do some more retro reviews there. Stuff like Masters of the Universe is on deck because that movie's coming out pretty soon in a couple of months there. Then as well, Street Fighter, which a new Street Fighter trailer is going to be premiering tomorrow. So I'll probably talk about that with Nick if Nick can join me Friday there.
Absolutely.
If he can help me and discuss that there, and talk about future shows there. So my last show will be Friday before I leave my trip there, and that we're doing You, Me, and Tuscany, Exit 8, Beast, Faces of Death, and Lee Cronin's The Mummy there. Lee Cronin's
not the original Universal monster, not the Brendan Fraser, Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy. So you got that.
Like I was saying last week, I didn't realize that Lee Cronin was on a first name basis now in the industry.
Hey, off of Evil Dead Rise, he's on a first name basis with me.
Right.
So that's a future stream there. No stream Monday there. But Nick, he'll be posting there which streams he's going to be doing there on his stuff there. Nick, where can people find you? What you got going on, man?
All right, you can find me on all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Letterboxd at Night and Day Nick. You can find me streaming on my channel. I'm going to be back at it this Saturday with guests Jamarco and Brandon talking about all of the new TV from Daredevil Born Again, from Mall Shadow Lord, Euphoria, Invincible, and The Boys.
Yes, Maul. Yes, Darth Maul has a show there. Sage from Radio Retreat, he was also interested in that. The animation looks really gorgeous too.
Oh yeah, it's stunning. It's like an updated version of that like Clone Wars animation that I feel like has taken on its own charm and has looked better as time has gone on. And they've even done stuff where they've like added matte painting backgrounds for a lot of it. They'll mess around with the sound. They like put Sam Witwer's scream into the sound of the lightsaber as he's swinging it.
Yeah, Sam Witwer, who's a big Star Wars nerd. He is really big into it. So very awesome there. And he's voicing Darth Maul, right?
He's voiced Darth Maul since the Clone Wars. He's taken what has been essentially a one-note just a character with like 3 lines in all of Star Wars and turned him into one of the most fascinating antagonists in the whole saga.
Well, that's the Dave Filoni stamp, I guess. You just take ideas that were kind of half-baked in the prequel saga and fully complete them at that point.
Yeah, so very awesome. So a lot of stuff there. Neil, what can people find you got going on? What you got coming up now?
All right. Well, everyone can find me at Daftneal, DAFTNEAL, on all the social media like Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Backlogged. I've just been reading a bunch of really good comic books recently and catching up on movies and stuff. And I look forward to being on future reviews, hopefully for Masters of the Universe and Spider-Man 3 and hopefully stuff like that. So hit me up and I'll chat with everyone.
Very
Oh yeah.
cool there. And you already watched Masters of the Universe there.
I did.
Logged it on your letterbox there. 2 stars. If you don't have the money or resources to make a He-Man movie, don't bother. I just was talking about Duff Lunger because I reviewed his 1989 Punisher movie.
Right.
So I just was talking about him. Very good stuff there. And of course, after this show there, we got on the agenda today. We're going to do The Mummy, not Lee Cronin's The Mummy, but Brendan Fraser's The Mummy 1999 there. Then we're also be doing the Netflix film Thrash there. Then we're going to cover some little bit of news there. Maybe do the Godzilla -0. I mean, it's only like 40 some seconds, really, but
Sure.
talk about that for a bit there. Then there's also the Avatar movie, not the Blue People Avatar, but the Been in the Elements Avatar there. So that movie leaked, and we're going to get into that news wise. And that's what we have there. I don't know if anybody wanted to react to the new Fokker trailer. They're making another Fokkers there with Ariana Grande. She's going to be a new addition to the Fokker family there. Ariana Fokker. So you got that kind of going on. So yeah, unless people want to do that there. This would be the 4th one or the
fourth one.
Yeah, this is the 4th. Because I remember the last one was Little Fokkers.
Okay, so little where they had kids, right? So
where they had kids, and like Ben Stiller is tempted to cheat with Jessica Alba.
Oh, okay, that was that one. So this is Fokker in Law.
These titles, man, just keep getting like dumber and dumber every time.
Yeah.
Every time I see one of these movies, I have to remind myself that Ben Stiller created Severance and he wrote and directed Tropic Thunder. I know you are better than this.
Really? I thought he just directed the episode. He created the show?
Yeah, he's the creator.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's Dan Ickerson.
Well, okay. Ben Stiller might be one of the executive producers then, but
yeah, okay.
But yeah, like Ben Stiller is a very funny and smart guy in the right situations. Like the Ben Stiller show was really underappreciated back in the day. So it's just kind of weird that he just kind of, I guess these are just paycheck movies at this point, these Fokker ones.
Yeah, I can't fault the guy for getting the bag, but you know, it hurts a little more when I know they are better than that. Like, I don't care about like when Rob Schneider puts out a movie, because I know that's about the limit of his talent.
I didn't even know Ben Stiller had a show. He had a show. I didn't even know that. So it was like a variety show or something like that. Okay.
It was a sketch show. It was like super, like kind of weird and off the wall by 90s standards. Like nowadays, it's a bit tamer because we've had like YouTube humor and college humor and stuff like that. But for the time it aired, it was super like niche. But yeah, it was very underappreciated for when it was on.
Yeah, it's kind of like an early precursor to stuff like The Whitest Kids You Know.
Okay, very nice thing. You had Andy Dick there, so you had another comedian in there. Okay, very cool there. Oh, and had I forgot his name. What is this actor's name again? The guy from, I think he was in SNL. I think, or maybe who was this guy?
Tom Arnold.
Oh,
yeah, that's him.
Yeah, and then I think Roseanne. Is that Roseanne?
Yeah, that's Roseanne.
Yeah, that's Roseanne Barr.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, so you got that. Very awesome there. I'm curious about this. Let me play this because I had this Fokker Law.
All right. We might as well. Let's do it.
Go for it.
Don't worry. I test all the potential new family members with this machine. Is your name Olivia Jones?
Yes.
You love Henry Fokker?
Oh, hey, it's got the kid from Righteous Gemstones and Jimmy Olsen there.
Oh, that's Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, the sluttiest Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, okay.
Much?
Do you have a positive impression of Henry's family so far?
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
The old machine. It's funny to be on the outside. Used to being in the hot seat.
Would you like to ask me some questions, Greg?
Okay, Olivia, do you think I hold Henry emotionally hostage?
I mean, yeah. You call him Wee Wee?
Wee wee?
What
What
the
is that,
fuck?
like a joke
Bruh.
about his wee wee?
Oh, nope, no jokes about Henry's little penis. I mean, not little. You probably have more up-to-date info on it. I haven't seen it for a while, so.
Dad, please stop talking.
All right.
No.
What do you think of Olivia?
She's adorable, so smart. Good
good boy.
He likes you. With one sniff, dogs
Oh,
can tell more
jeez.
about a person's character than a human could. I don't know if you were aware, Greg, but when we first met, I didn't think you were good enough for my pancake.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
But Olivia's a powerhouse.
People underestimate me.
Is that the dude from what was it?
Yes, Robin. Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name, but yeah, I think that's him.
From what was that high school movie? Forgot the
He was
name
one
of
of
it.
the guys in Booksmart.
Booksmart, that's what it was.
Oh,
yes, yes.
okay.
And it was in Stranger Things.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was the one that was trying to get with the teacher in Booksmart. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
wasn't
Yeah,
trying to.
Yeah. And that's Jonah Hill's sister over here. Okay,
Yep,
I don't know.
Amy Feldstein.
Yeah,
Oh,
who's also
okay.
on Booksmart. Yeah, okay.
Estimate me. But actually, I was an FBI hostage negotiator. Badass.
Here comes the airplane.
I pulled the strings of the hostage takers, like strategic, emotional puppetry.
What the
That's
fuck
how
is
I'm gonna
My
free
God.
you from you, Greg.
Okay, Ben Stiller in all these movies just gets progressively dumber and more insufferable as they go on. Is what
Yeah,
I've
it's like
started to notice.
yeah, I very much dislike these movies because so much of the comedy comes from Greg Focker's complete lack of spine and common sense.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
even comedy movie, okay, there is some suspension of disbelief, but there is no way anybody would tolerate that guy's existence, let alone him being able to find a partner and marry them.
Well, the thing is, like with the first one, it was pretty much like I don't know, like a standard sitcom plot and kind of sitcom movie. But like as these ones have gone on, and like you said, I know there's like for a comedy you have to suspend disbelief, but like it gets to be too much for me at points.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep going here.
Oh my God.
What do we do? Oh my God, you baby birdie, Grandpa Jay. I'm gonna ask Olivia to marry.
Oh, we got a Thanksgiving movie. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
A new movie to watch on Thanksgiving, man. You can put this with Spider-Man and
What
planes,
else is
trains.
coming out Thanksgiving?
You put that one in.
Hey, you sure she's the one?
Dad. Why?
Oh, okay, so she's the daughter of Ben Stiller. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Henry, she's so innocent, and she's trained to manipulate people. I love the lengths that you go to for your mishpucha. Mishpucha, that means family in Yiddish.
I know.
I'm considering inviting Olivia into the circle of trust.
Look at the guns on this guy.
Well, thank you for noticing.
She can't just waltz in there. I worked my ass off to get in there.
Should be an interesting weekend.
Race to the end?
Let's do it.
I thought this would be an opportunity to get to know me, to bond.
How do you bond with an emotional puppeteer? I won't be your little Pinocchio, Geppetto, evil Geppetto. I'm a real boy.
What the hell's the matter with you, Fokker?
There you go.
Okay.
Comedy ensues, man. Good old family. Man. Father-in-law, yeah. It's funny that
It'll make about $40 million opening weekend, and nobody will remember it past then.
yeah. I don't think nobody even remembers it had like 3 other sequels. Oh man. It's gotten a lot of stretch out of a play on words of a last name of Fokker. It sounds like fucker. So it's like, okay, wow, they made a whole franchise out of that. Hey, how's it going? Hunter from the Real Pineapple.
A whole cinematic universe off a bad pun.
Yeah. Hey, I was going to say this looks wickedly awful there. Thank you for your input, Hunter. Man, are you a writer on Fokker-in-Law, man? Man, they need you over there, man. It's written by John Hamburg there, who's so he's done the other Fokker movies. Okay.
Yeah, that
He's
tracks.
done- yeah, he wrote the first one. Then he did Meet the Fockers. Then he also wrote Little Fockers. So
Well, I think Jay Roche might have directed some of these movies. I could be mistaken, but
yeah, he
at
did.
least.
He directed the first one, yeah. Yeah, so there you go there. Um, since while we're talking about trailers anyway, might as well pull up this Godzilla here. Good old Godzilla. So finally, we're getting a sequel, man. They've been talking about this. Got announced pretty early when that movie came out, Godzilla -1 there, that,
Yeah,
hey, we're going to get a sequel to Godzilla.
It was announced, but hadn't kind of been radio silence on it until we like heard that it was coming out this year.
Yeah, and with the same creative team and everything, so that's always good news.
Takashi Yamazaki, who was robbed that year at the Oscars, because as much as I liked what was the other movie that Japan submitted for international feature? It was Future Days, I think it was called. It was about this. It was about this like a custodian in these Japanese public toilets. It's a good movie, but I would put Godzilla -1 over that.
Yeah, I know Dusk. He loved it. He thought it was really great. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. Oh, you gonna say something there, Neil?
Oh, I was thinking they probably want to submit in the more like traditional film for the Oscars, even though -1 is just a great film on every level. But yeah, I agree.
All right, let's take a look. It's only like a little teaser thing, 40-something seconds, so nothing huge yet, but let's take a look at this.
Right.
If their operation fails, maybe we'll finally get to use it.
Abort third drop. Repeat. Abort third drop.
That's a shot people were talking about where you have Godzilla who just pops up out of the water there. That's a really great shot. That sound design is amazing.
Oof, it is. Whoa.
Yeah.
So November there, 6th of this year, filmed in IMAX. Christopher Nolan's gonna come.
Well, I know what I'm seeing instead of Fokker-in-Law.
I was about to say, I'm here day one, but
I'm there day one. I'm there day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, that last shot is nutty. I applaud them, but it's super nutty.
Bringing Godzilla back to the States for the first time since 1968.
Well,
what was that rolling in?
1968.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Slightly bit, yeah. It was a little teaser, something like this. They're probably going to release something pretty soon. There, I'm over full-fledged.
I just know this. I just know the pilot from the last movie. I can't remember the character's name, but I know he's just going to be fuming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it seems like they got like other there's some supernatural threat going on because like the clouds or whatever. But like the only question I have on this trailer is if they do a third one, do they just call it +1 at that point since we're going backwards in the number scale?
I guess you got it. Maybe or you call it negative something. You just keep going there. Negative 1 or something. Yeah, it looks amazing. Still looks amazing there. Hasn't that guy who directed this, hasn't he been given like a Star Wars movie?
He wasn't given a Star Wars movie, but he was announced that his first English language feature is going to be with Warner Brothers. That's coming out either, I think, in 2028. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh,
okay, very cool. I know he said he wanted to do a Star Wars movie. And they just
what director who does nerd shit doesn't want to do a Star Wars movie?
I don't know. It's probably a good one you can name there. I probably don't want to. Yeah. So yeah, this was him. That was cool. He brought like a golden Godzilla there. That was pretty awesome there. Yeah, this was Christopher Nolan giving him an idea to shoot it all in IMAX right here. He's like,
right.
You gotta do it all in IMAX, man. That's what's in right now, man. But yeah, how many Oscars did that win? I forget. It won like just for visual effects.
It won, I think, just for VFX.
Which is just crazy because, how much cheaper -1 was to produce from a technical standpoint than the other nominees.
Yeah, it's like a budget of like around 200 million yen, which equates to about 250,000.
Yeah.
US.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it won Best Visual Effects here at the 96 Academy Awards there. So yeah, we reacted to that one, I think. Yeah, we did. And I was excited for them. It was pretty good. The other nominees was like The Creator, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission
Mhm.
Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon, with the other
Yeah,
nominees.
pretty much what you would expect to get nominated, but all
Right.
at least like triple the budget of -1.
Right. I
Right.
mean, all those were very well-deserved nominees, but
Mm.
yeah, I thought, I just like seeing -1 when it's just because, 1, it's not like a typical thing that would win this
Mhm.
award, and 2, I thought the special effects just were really well blended in with everything that movie was doing in general.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I even got a chance to see the, minus color edition in theaters, and they, like, added some, like, film grain to it. They, like, updated the audio so it would sound like a movie from the '60s, like a black and white film, and that's, like, even more impressive to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So that was our trailer reactions there. Yeah. And
I'm
we're
there
gonna get
day
into the
1.
yeah.
I'm already seated.
-1. Minus day
I'm
1.
already seated. The theater employees are
Man,
scared. They're asking me to leave because, "Sir, it doesn't come out until November 6th." "I don't care. I'm seated."
serious seriously, the only thing that would make this trailer even better is if, like, Hideaki Anno, who did Shin Godzilla, was, like, some creative consultant or producer or something like that on this.
All right. So as far as news go, only got really one news story there, which is the fact that this Avatar movie, Avatar: The Last Airbender, so a movie that was supposed to release there in October 9th of this year, there has already been leaked. Somebody got emailed I guess somebody at Paramount there. I guess they were drunk or something, and then they just emailed somebody the entire link to the entire movie, and then that person just put it all on Twitter. They
Mm.
just put it right there, and it wasn't a gag. It wasn't like you click the video and it's like these nuts or something like that, or
Right.
it's a full HD copy of the movie. It's all of it there.
Oof.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that. So all of it just right there. I think there hasn't even been a trailer release yet for this movie.
None.
No.
Um,
Nothing.
so
Yeah,
so
no
nothing.
trailer, no marketing, nothing.
So they haven't even ramped up that yet. And yeah, everybody was like, "Yeah, man, the whole thing's there." I saw some of it there a little bit. Did you guys catch any of it?
I,
No.
like, caught glimpses of clips here and there, but I tried to avoid it the best I can.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw a screenshot, but I'm making an effort to not see the movie. I
Mhm,
wanna see it when it's officially out. I'm a big fan of Avatar: The Last Bender. I'd
mhm.
rather see it legitimately than through Twitter, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, and I know that Paramount is getting a lot of flack for, pulling it from theaters and just, planning to dump it on Paramount Plus in October when it was supposed to come out, but that I think that's an insult, the leaking of it. I feel like it's an insult to all of the artists who worked on it, all of the voice actors who were a part of it, the original creative team behind it, Brian Cuniazzo and Michael DiMartino. It's
Mhm.
an insult to their hard work, and a franchise like Avatar, it's still beloved to this day. Like, you look on Netflix where it's streaming, it's consistently, like, in the top 10, top 15 of, streaming shows. People are still talking about The Last Airbender today,
Yeah,
like,
it's one of
almost a
it
decade after it's finished.
yeah, it's like one of the best animated shows ever made. Like, that's a pretty easy thing to say, but yeah, like, I have a feeling this might have been done by someone disgruntled about
Mhm,
Paramount and the Warner Brothers merger, and, like, maybe they were affected by layoffs and stuff like that,
mhm,
but that's just me more, like, conjecturing more than,
mhm.
like, any solid proof on anything.
Mm. Yeah. So that's fair. But here you have one of the voice actors here. You have Toph here, the original voice actor
Mhm.
from Toph, giving her opinion on things there and people sharing it here.
Stop talking about it and stop sharing things about it. I'm Michaela Jill Murphy, aka Jessie Flower, the original voice of Toph Beifong in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender series on Nickelodeon. And if you want to be respectful, and if you want to know how I feel, stop sharing it, stop consuming it, stop talking about it, and watch it when it comes out.
Mhm.
What I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you want to respect the creators and respect the cast and respect me and respect the art, then stop sharing it and editing it and looking at it and commenting about it. The key to earthbending is your stance. you've got to be steady and strong. Rock is a stubborn element, so if you're going to move it, you've got to be like a rock yourself. So maybe just practice some discipline and patience. Flag videos where you see clips from it. Respect the art and respect the creators. I know everybody might not listen, but that's not a reason for you not to listen. Just be respectful and wait. That's how I feel about it. Bye, Twinkle Toes.
So there you go. You had her respond to it, So Nick, stop watching it, man. Stop watching them clips, man. Stop sharing it. So yeah. I mean, the people who worked on the movie, I assume they already got paid for it already. I don't know if there's a certain incentive as far as the streaming goes, like how much of a they get paid as far as that happens there. And it was supposed to have a theatrical run. Then they put it on Paramount Plus, which people found very disrespectful that they did that because they thought, in the animation, me seeing some of it, I caught it a glimpse on the timeline because I was just in disbelief. I was like, "There's no fucking way this is the whole movie." And then I was skimming through it. I was like, "Oh shit, this is actually the whole thing." There, I was expecting to get rickrolled and everything like that, but no, the thing. So I mean, do you think that? First of all, would it have been very successful if it had been released in theaters there? You think it would have made a good profit? Neil there?
I think it would have done okay. I don't think it would have done as good as I think it would have done slightly worse than say Into the Spider-Verse, but I think it would have done halfway decent. It was not going to make $500 million or anything like that, but it could have been a halfway profitable, halfway decent box office run, I think.
I feel like it could have done it could have been one of those K-pop Demon Hunter situations where even if they originally didn't intend a theatrical release, there was such a buzz about it that there was a demand to put it in theaters, and Netflix complied with it, and it made ridiculous money in theaters.
Right. K-pop Demon Hunters made $20 million that weekend it was in theaters. I could have easily seen this movie doing similar numbers. It's the same audience, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, K-pop Demon Hunters did have that smash hit song, so I think that's what helped it a lot. I mean, and K-pop's really hot right now.
You're not wrong.
You say that, but Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer, all those anime movies make good money at the box office. Why wouldn't Avatar do the same?
Well, those are popular right now. Demon Slayer is a huge anime that is #1 in Japan, and people have got big crossover. Same thing kind of with Chainsaw Man. So that's also, I mean, there are dedicated hardcore fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, a lot of millennials and a lot of people like that, obviously there. Now, would they show up in droves to go and watch it in the theaters? Maybe not there. But we'll never know that. Now at this point, because they probably won't do it now. And the copies are still out there. I mean, at first it was Paramount was snatching them all down super quick. Their DMCA strike a lot of videos there. But if you do want to, I mean, even there's still the videos up there. There's still the whole movie up there on Twitter there. If you just kind of want to get just even a sense of what it kind of looks like there. And so what do you think should be the next step for Paramount? Do you think they should just say well, there's no point in waiting until October now. We might as well just put it on Paramount Plus now. We might as well say fuck it. It's already out there. What do you think is the next step?
If I were in charge of Paramount, here's what I would do. I would
support Trump.
Yep. Give $500 million to Israel. In all seriousness, what I would do is I would leverage all of the buzz that is online about the movie and just go ahead and just put it in theaters. I mean, what do you have left to lose now?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a special Fathom event weekend or something like that.
Fathom event weekend, 2 weekends in theaters, see what happens.
I would piggyback off of that and say, after doing that, I would just put it on Paramount Plus because at this point, the fans know it's already out. The genie's out of the bottle, so you might as well just say, all right, here's this really cool movie. It's great. Go watch it, everyone. What do you got to lose? I agree.
Yeah. And people, I mean, Paramount as a company, I mean, people are not very happy with Paramount as a company. Anyway, they're trying to gobble up all these other industries. There's
Right.
this big merger with Warner Brothers coming there. There's obviously them trying to shift and control all of media at this moment. So it's kind of like they're not really exactly people like, well, fuck this company. You know what I mean? Like, why not pirate this movie? And a lot of people probably, when this came out, I did see a lot of people go, well, I wasn't going to subscribe to Paramount Plus anyway to watch it. You know what I mean? I was probably going to get it leaked anyway. So you did have that. And the fact that they took it away in theaters. So it's like, well, you kind of have that kind of going for it. So yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I've seen some reactions to people who have seen it and seen kind of just their general response to it. It seems like people don't like the adult voices too much of like the characters because they changed the voice actors. So it's not the voice actors from the original cartoon because now,
Right.
which makes sense because they're older now, they're adults, Toph and Aang and you have Katara there and Sokka. So, you don't have the same kind of voice acting. And a lot of people kind of found those voices maybe a little off or weird there. What were some of the reactions? Have you seen any reactions to people who've seen it online of them going like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like it all that much. Yeah.
So with the only thing, so one thing about the voice acting, apparently they changed it to make sure that the actors match the races of the characters. Because like in the original series, like some of the main characters were voiced by white people. Like Katara is voiced by Mae Whitman, who is clearly not Inuit or anything like that. So that I would assume that's probably the motivation on that. But as far as reactions to the movie, I heard it described as a really good non-canon Shonen Jump movie, like one of those Naruto or Dragon Ball Z movies you would see back in the day. And I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool compliment to give for this movie. So I can dig a movie like that.
Yeah, kind of like that movie with Gohan or with in the future or something like that, Future Trunks or something like that.
Yeah, like one of the original DBZ animated movies, like Broly.
Right, or like Naruto, where like they go to protect that princess in like the snow land or something like that.
Okay. What were some of the reactions you've seen there, Nick?
Yeah, most of the reactions I saw were, generally positive. There were, complaints about them changing the voice cast. I know Steven Yeun, who's the voice of Zuko in it, he's gotten a lot of flack for his performance, but I like Steven Yeun as an actor and as a voice actor, and I think I would curious to hear his performance as an older Zuko.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and then I saw some people complain also about the fact that Toph was straight or something, even though like she's got kids.
Yeah, she has kids.
I was about to say.
Have you been on Tumblr? There's like hella theories that like Sokka fathered like one of her kids.
Yeah.
Well, but they addressed that in Korra and just said it was some dude,
Yeah, she's got like 2 different baby daddies, right? She had like one of each dude. Like, I mean, I could see maybe her being maybe bisexual, yeah, but like the fact that people complain she's straight, I'm like, yeah, she had kids.
I think it's because like, she's like a tomboy character, and people like want to assume.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's what it is. But I was like, why is that such a big surprise there? But yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird there. People were like, oh man, you ruined the canon of the show. You made Toph straight. I'm like, I think it's always been established.
Canonically, she has kids. I don't want to assume, but it's like more. There's more signs confirming than denying.
Yeah,
right. And I don't think they would like in this day and age. I don't think they would like write like a closeted person having kids or anything like that. It's more work than it needs to be. She's just straight or bisexual or whatever.
It's not J.K. Rowling just like 20 years after like the last Harry Potter book coming out. It was like Dumbledore's gay.
Right.
And the kids look like her too, so they look very much like her. So yeah. So yeah. So I think Paramount, I mean, I think it would just be best just to say, fuck, let's just put it out. I mean, it's already out there. We might as well just do a whole press run, release, all that good stuff, get the cast out there and kind of just try to do your best to get ahead of it because the movie's already out there. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you're going to really, wait until all the way to October to do this. I mean, people are going, yeah.
Just don't acknowledge the leak. Just say, hey, look, here's our movie. Enjoy it.
Fuck it. We're releasing it.
And to my knowledge, I don't think Paramount has put out anything about the leak. Have they? I don't think they've said anything about it too much.
Nothing official that I've seen.
Uh,
They probably wouldn't want to because of like Streisand affecting the whole thing, but that'd be my guess.
Yeah. Let's see here. This was one of the animators here who commented on it. That's about it. That's all I'm seeing from that there. But yeah, do you feel like it is disrespectful to watch the movie if you pirate it there? It's disrespectful to the animators, to the directors, everything like that?
Absolutely.
Mm, okay. Do you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah. I don't think there's any way around it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah, and yeah, piracy really isn't a victimless crime because some of a lot of what have become cult favorites of mine, like some of the Undisputed movies. The reason that it takes so long to get sequels to them is because most of the views come from piracy. They can't like go into meetings with the studios and pitch a sequel to it because nobody saw it. Yeah,
mm.
they did. They just you're not making any money off it.
Well, and to be frank, like piracy is a pretty big problem in the animation industry in general. Like a lot of fans just like are really trigger happy to go to piracy sites to see anything and not like see it through legitimate means. And that's just harms the medium because it makes sure artists don't get more work and the projects you probably like aren't going to get made because it's like you didn't go through the official channels, whether like as dumb as those channels are sometimes.
So here, let's see, you have one of the animators, Julia Scholl there, who says, I don't like seeing people use Paramount's awful decision to remove the movie from theaters, just leaking it. I totally understand folks now want to pay for / support Paramount Plus, but pirating the movie after its release would have at least been better than this. This is incredibly disrespectful to all of the hard work the artists put in. So you did have that what going on there. So she did give her opinion there on it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was our thoughts. So you guys aren't gonna watch it until October. So you're gonna wait.
Nope. Not until it's like released officially.
Yeah, I'll enjoy the movie when it's out officially, but in the meantime, no.
Okay. So hey, catch our review of it.
So
October.
Step up, Paramount. Let's just fuck it. Drop it on your site.
Might as well. Yeah.
So that was our thoughts on Avatar, the last Airbender movie leak there.
All right.
All right. Then we get this reviews, and then we're gonna be heading out of here. Very good there. Still some good people on. Cal is on right now. I asked Cal, who's a good friend there. He's playing Overwatch there. If he could review the Popeyes One Piece meal, him being a good One Piece guy. He said he could probably do that. What about you, Nick? Are you gonna enjoy the Popeyes One Piece meal there?
Probably not. I mean, I'm trying to like stay away from like a lot of fast food right now. I'm trying to, just be healthier. And even when I do, it's like Popeyes really isn't my first choice when it comes to like fast food. I'm more of I crave burgers more than anything.
Right.
Yeah. Good stuff there. All right. Any we're free and Beyond Journey's End. What if that gets a Popeyes, man? Would you eat that, Neil? If that gets
yes, I would. I'm that much of a simp for that show. I would.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And people waiting in line for it too, and people camping out for this Popeyes meal. I was like, whoa.
It's like the fucking McDonald's Szechuan sauce all over again.
Yeah.
Well, I just think like in Japan, like they have like anime crossover meals all the time, like Evangelion, ramen, and stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like every couple months at McDonald's when I was living there, I always saw like different promotional stuff. There was like One Piece meals, there was a fucking Evangelion, there was Gundam.
Yeah, I did see one for.
Love doing it over there.
I think I did see they're doing a new one for Gundam, I think, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get into this review there. All right. So, our first review of the day is going to be for the Netflix film Thrash. Thrash here is a movie starring Jimon Hansu there. It's directed by and written by Tommy Wirkola. Yeah, I think it was how you say his last name there. Wirkola. Now he's done such movies. He did A Violent Night, which was that Santa Claus movie, Die Hard movie there, starring the actor there, David Harbour, which I thought was it was all right. I guess it was sort of kind of fun there, a little bit. That's only one of his other movies I know of his. Apparently, he also did a movie called Spermageddon, animated movie. I have not seen that, but okay. Sure. And then he's also done a movie called The Trip before. There. What is this movie, The Thrash, about here? So it's a natural disaster movie. You have these people who are living in this town there, and this huge rainstorm comes, floods the entire town there. With the mix of this, you have people trapped in their homes with this huge flood. On top of that, you have sharks there, so that added to the mix. So you got these, sharks that are eating people alive in this there. So and the follow it has kind of three or four main characters that you kind of follow in their kind of experience with this storm. You got one of the characters who Jimon Hansu is his daughter there, who it seems like she has like agoraphobia, it seems like, there, that she doesn't really leave the house. It was her house that her mother was in, and then ever since her mother passed away, she's had this maybe unhealthy attachment to that. Then you also have this pregnant woman there who we see her like she says like, "Well, I got to get to work." And I was like, I don't know who the fuck would call you into work with this storm, but okay. So she when she's driving to work, she gets trapped there. And the actress who's is Phoebe
Denever
there.
Yeah, she's on Bridger. My wife kept saying, "Oh, it's her from Bridgerton." So yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen her before. Has she? What else has she been in?
Yeah, she was in Fair Play, that Netflix film with Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh, okay, yeah, she was in that. Okay, I did see her in that. Okay, there. So you have that there. Oh, that's not his daughter. I'm sorry, that's his niece, Jima Hansu. Yeah, Whitney Peak, who's the actress there, who was in that. She's been in Hocus Pocus too. Oh, she was in that. So I have seen her. I've seen her in that there. Then you also have like this adoptive family there. So you have this couple who adopted these kids there, basically just to get the checks there from the government of having adoptive kids, and then they treat them like shit. So you have that kind of, and then trapped in their house and them trying to escape. And then you have also Jimon Hansu's character who comes in there, and he's the one that's a marine biologist. So he hunts a lot of sharks and things like that. And he's got his own like great, white whale shark there that he tracks and hunts there. I forgot the name. What they call the shark, Nelly or something like that, is the name they give the shark.
Something
I think,
like that.
Oh, you were frozen there for a second. Oh, you're good now there, Neil. Okay. So you have that aspect of it. So that's kind of the setup you have of it. A movie that was kind of reminding me a little bit of was that movie with the crocodile. What was that movie called again?
Crawl.
There was kind of reminding me. Now I don't think I've ever seen that movie before, but was it
Dude,
Crawl is cool.
That movie, Crawl fucking rips.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that movie is awesome. Watch that instead of this.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's a lot of similarities because, like, again, it's like a flood, and then there's like an animal that comes and hunts, kind of like stalks him, like Jason from Friday the 13th or some shit like that.
Right.
So you kind of got that as well. So, what do you guys thoughts? Thrash.
I didn't see Thrash, so Neil, take it away.
Oh, okay. Well, I like the fact that there are bull sharks in the movie because I like sharks in general. And that's about it. This movie is pretty terrible, I gotta be honest. And it starts out okay, but it just gets progressively dumber and worse and more hokey as it goes along, to the point where I just stopped caring anymore. The part of the issue is just the fact that you have all these actors, like you mentioned, like Jimon Hansu and Phoebe Denever and Whitney Peak, who I know Jimon Hansu is a great actor, but like they're not given anything to do with their characters or their motivations or anything like that. And yeah, it just felt very silly, and there was a real lack of tension between anything going on, and it just really made me not care about anything in this movie. So I did not care for this movie. Just to be clear, I did not care for it.
Yeah, in this movie, so I mean, what made you want to review it there? What, you just saw it as like it's #1 trending on Netflix, and you go like, why not? Or
yeah, my wife and I saw it. We sometimes like watching creature features, and we just thought this would be like Crawl, because very similar setup, like creature in a storm kind of movie. But yeah, that's just like I said, I like the sharks. That's about it.
Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of the characters, they're stock characters. A lot of them have these very basic kind of setups, to make you kind of maybe feel something. Is a Whitney Peace character? Oh, she lost her mother. Or the one woman, Lisa, there, who's played by Phoebe DeNever. There, she's pregnant. Um, so it tries to increase the stakes there. And the water looks terrible. By the way,
It
like
does.
the effects with the water, I've never seen water look. That's like some sci-fi Sharknado looking water that they do with that.
There's a scene at the beginning, at the first half, the first act of the movie that looked pretty decent. Like Phoebe DeNever is stuck in a car that's like got a branch through it, and I thought that scene looked pretty decent. But then you're right, the rest of the movie just never lives up to that.
Just like the budget ran out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the budget ran out with that, and then when you see the sharks, you see them a little bit of them in the water there, kind of swimming. I don't think they play with the tension, very good with the sharks of how they're kind of coming, and you see them like, oh shit, the shark is about to bite them. It's like it kind of happens. It's like people just get bit, and they get, they pop up from the water, and they're missing a limb or they're missing an arm or something like that. So there's no real good tension play with that, of how they kind of execute a lot of the shark kills or anything like that. I don't think that works. This whole kind of again creating that kind of sense of tension and sense of drama there. The movie doesn't do well at that. Doesn't give you, I don't think, any sufficient enough characters to really care about. The effects aren't really good with that. Even I mentioned a movie like Sharknado, which has kind of like a, so dumb it's kind of fun aspect of it, or even something kind of like with that Jason Statham movie, The Meg or something like that.
Right.
Where you can kind of just go like, okay, this is fucking ridiculous, but fuck it, why not? Let's go with it. But that's got like Godzilla ass sharks. Yeah. Oh, we say Nick?
Oh, well, the first Meg, I'd say.
Yeah, the first Meg, I guess. Yeah, the Chinese Meg right there. We had that one there.
Well, I think the big difference also is the fact that none of those movies you mentioned are like trying to also they don't pretend to have characters as well. Like Sharknado, there's no attempt to write a character at all. But like in this movie, they spend a decent amount of time setting up the characters and their situations, like Jimon Hansu and his niece and their whole story. But then, like you said, they just kind of forget to follow up on that. And, it just gets much goofier as it goes along. Like, for example, like the adopted family, there's this whole subplot about, like you said, where the parents are just collecting the government checks, but not treating the kids well. There's a whole scene where like, you think the husband is gone because he gets dragged under the water, and the kids are like, you know what? Yeah, screw him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he just pops up with like his arm missing out of nowhere. It's like, this is much goofier than the movie it was originally set up to be.
Yeah.
Didn't really
And
work for me.
Things just, what I mean, convenience just happens because like they see like he's getting all these checks there, which how that check survived under all this water and everything like that. Okay. So they look at the check and they go, wait a minute, you getting all these checks, and I think he's making them like work jobs and something like that because I had to pay the rent, I guess, and the mortgage or something like that. And then so I guess the check was able to survive this huge storm there. And then so they're trying to create some drama there with that's really stupid. That dude was funny though. I think at anybody that maybe entertainment, the abusive adoptive dad kind of entertainment, because he was such a stupid kind of guy, because he's like, everybody's telling him like, hey man, we got to leave, then there's this huge storm. He's like, man, I'm not leaving this, it's just a little bit of bad weather, it ain't nothing, y'all freaking out over nothing. And then
there's literally like, go ahead, sorry.
Oh yeah, and then like he's saying that, and then it like the water like crashes in, and then it busts into the house, which I thought was something there. But
yeah, that's all I was saying. There's a literal monsoon going on beneath him. He's just like, it's just the wind. Who cares?
Yeah. So you got that, and I think where is this supposed to be set at? I think it's do they say like which city or?
I think South Carolina. I didn't catch the city, but definitely gave Carolina vibes.
Yeah. And then they said because it's a hurricane and they call it Henry, I think is the hurricane there. So you got that, which I guess you could say it's based on a lot of these natural, like obviously real, natural disaster and hurricanes and all that stuff that affects a lot of these areas. People like in the South and New Orleans and Florida and everything like that, which happens. Even just recently, Hawaii had a big flood that happened there with that. So you have that aspect. And the way that the the adoptive family. I won't spoil the way they defeat the shark. It's just kind of fucking wild. The way that happens is goofy as hell.
Yeah.
And the fact that because when this storm is happening, people are able to use their phones. Like Whitney Peak is able to use she's able to use her phone. It's like now that I feel like that wouldn't happen because the towers would be down and like it would be such bad weather, like you couldn't use that. And
I
then
know.
there's a scene where the pregnant woman Lisa, where she calls her mother at the end, and I'm like, that phone is done. That phone is submerged in water and all that shit. Like she was in her car where the water was like up to her head. It's like, how the fuck did that phone not get wet? When I'm in the rain, my phone goes like, oh, you can't plug your charger in because it's the water damage of it. And she's gonna be able to make fucking phone calls like that, FaceTime my mom. I'm like, hell no.
That woman that played her mom, she needed to be there for 2 days, so that's how this is justified.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what will be your final thoughts rating, man, for Thrash there?
My final thoughts that this is a very, very silly movie that is a bad copy of better movies that already exist. Go watch Crawl, go watch Jaws, go watch Sharknado. It's better than this movie. It didn't make me mad, but it still burned this movie. It's a total waste of time. Don't bother.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of things I liked about it. I didn't really like the characters. I didn't really like the effects. The kills really aren't that exciting, really, or anything like that. So that even doesn't work on that. If you just want to see some fun kills there, I don't think it even works on that element. So yeah, I kind of give it a burn it too, as well. Yeah. So 2 burn-its for Thrash, which is on Netflix now. It's trending pretty well. I think it's like number 1 top 10 in Netflix movies, I think. Something like that. So maybe
you can't trust Netflix metrics these days, I don't think. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe watch Crawl instead. Just watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Netflix's metric is if you watch like the first 5 minutes of it, it counts as a view.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh boy.
It's got those YouTube metrics.
I was thinking the Twitter metrics more than anything.
All right. Pretty cool there. So 2 burn-ins for Thrash.
Well, I didn't watch it, and now I don't intend to.
Yeah,
all right, good.
I'm gonna check out Crawl then.
I'm just gonna watch Crawl instead because that movie is awesome, and that one makes a little more sense because it's set in Florida, baby.
Yeah. Right. Well, hey, that's on Paramount Plus. Crawl there. Yeah.
Cool.
Check that out. They should do a crossover. Avatar, the Airbender movie with Crawl. They should do a crossover there. 2 big franchises, man.
Hey, when Aang goes in the Avatar stay in the movie, maybe he just summons a bunch of crocodiles to eat the bad guy.
He goes like back to the swamp and he summons an army of crocodiles. Sorry, alligators.
Right.
All right. Let's get into our last review here and we'll head out. Very good stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our last review of the day is going to be for The Mummy, not Lee Cronin's The Mummy, but The Mummy 1999 there. This was a classic film, I guess, among millennials there. We talked about millennial classic films before. Movies like Mean Girls, I think that falls into that category. And I think this is another one there, where a lot of people who do romantically about this movie, are mostly people, our age there, talking about this movie. I'm a big fan of this movie myself there. I haven't seen it in a minute, so it's nice going back and revisiting this. And the reason why we're revisiting this movie is because, like I mentioned there, we do have a new Mummy movie coming out this week called Lee Cronin's The Mummy, which is vastly different from this. It's more, kind of horror based there. It seems like it's more focusing on that. You have the director who did Evil Dead Rise there. With that. Now, I think I've seen some kind of reactions to it. Of course, like anything, early reactions, some of them are going to be really positive and super like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. This is the greatest horror movie ever. And then some people are like, I don't know, it wasn't so good there. So I'm going to see it tomorrow and we're going to give our review of it Friday there with that. But that's part of why we're doing it. And are you really excited to see this there, Nick and Neil?
I'm excited because it's a new film from Lee Cronin. I really loved what he did with Evil Dead Rise. He took a franchise that is, very near and dear to my heart and just found something new and interesting to do with it. And I'm curious to see what he does with The Mummy, even though a lot of the vibes I'm getting from the trailer are, oh, this is Evil Dead Rise again. And I hope I am wrong.
Mm, okay. Interesting. What about you there?
I would say I'm mildly excited about it. I mean, I'm sure it'll be good, but you know, I'm just not. It just doesn't grab my attention as much as I think other movies do. But I hope it's good.
Mm. Okay. So with this Mummy 1999, people a lot of comparisons. Obviously, Indiana Jones is going to be
Mhm.
the main comparison. I always say it's the best rip-off Indiana Jones movie. If you're going to have a rip-off Indiana Jones movie, I think this one is the best one there. If you want to talk about video games, well, Uncharted's probably got that on lock, as far as that kind of goes there. And this movie was directed by Steven Sommers there. He's done some other movies like this before. He did G.I. Joe there. He also did Van Helsing there as well, which was in what, '04, I think Van Helsing was out.
Right. Oh,
Which
4.
he did that as well there with that. And so I think, well, looking at some of his resume, I think it's probably the best one he's probably the best movie he's done there with that as well there. And there was two sequels to this movie, and it's about to be a third sequel because they did announce there is going to be a Mummy 4 with Brendan Fraser returning there, and you have Rachel Weisz who also is returning there, so you got a lot of the original cast from this first movie who is returning for the fourth one there. I know they replaced Rachel Weisz in the third movie, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor there. They had Maria Bello who was in that one.
Yeah, I just imagine they're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think they said I think Sage was telling me they're going to basically retcon the third one. So I guess they're going to hand wave the third one away. Like, okay, that one kind of didn't happen there.
They're pulling a Superman Returns, basically.
Yeah. And you know, maybe Brendan Fraser's going to give us that good kiss like he gave Rachel Weisz in this movie, so he can make people forget what happened in this in the third movie there. So what is happening in this kind of movie here, the Mummy 1999 there? Well, you have they tell the story of this evil kind of guy there who was sentenced to death there. He was fucking around. He was cheating. He was fucking the emperor's mistress there.
He was the side dick for the pharaoh's mistress.
Which is a no-no because the pharaoh's only allowed to have mistresses and play around there. So that was kind of a big no-no there when they got caught. He got sentenced to death, and then so did she there. But he was kind of given like a curse type death there, where he's able to be resurrected there. And when he's able to be resurrected, he's able to become all powerful there, become this, be invulnerable there. Basically, would be able to take over the world there. And this kind of gets discovered, gets awakened because you have Brendan Fraser's character there, who in this plays Rick O'Connell there, which that sounds like a good, strong, strapping name, Rick O'Connell there, who is a part of the French Legion there, who accidentally awakens the mummy that you have there. And then you also have an archaeologist in this as well, who's the Rachel Weisz character who plays Evelyn there, along with her brother Jonathan there, who's played John Hannah. And so there are a crew of people there who are going there because she wants to have Brendan Fraser's character take her to the tomb there and to actually see it, you know what I mean, and actually see what this whole thing is all about there. And then amongst this whole kind of race to this tomb, you have other adventurers, other diggers there who are as well who are also being shown there. I'll pass around, get you guys' thoughts on it. Nick, what are your thoughts there on the Mummy 1999, man?
Yeah, this was the first time I'd ever sat down and watched the first Mummy all the way through. I'd seen Mummy Returns, I'd seen Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, but going back and watching this film and thinking about like the year 1999 as a whole, a year that gave us so many incredible films like Matrix, Fight Club, Phantom Menace is among those, The Iron Giant. And seeing this film and seeing like the context of in which it was made, the late 90s was kind of like this time where Hollywood didn't really know what it was that was going to hit. So they just greenlit everything. So they make this film, which is essentially like the millennial Indiana Jones. A lot of people, at least in our generation, I think connect with this more than the like later indie films. And watching this movie, it's just a great, fun, action-packed adventure film. It's grounded by the performances of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. The movie, I think it's a great gateway to horror because I know it was straight nightmare fuel for me with especially the scarabs. I don't fuck with bugs at all, and that scared the shit out of me. Those scarabs were scarier than Imhotep was for me.
Oh, absolutely, those bugs were.
Mm. And especially because they crawl in the skin, and which was also kind of gross there that kind of happens what they do, and they also or they'll just eat you alive. A thousand of these things will just
they burrow inside of you and eat you from the inside out.
eat you
There's
from
a
the
couple.
inside.
There's a couple pretty gross effects for a PG-13 movie in this movie. I was kind of surprised by that, especially a 1999 PG-13 movie.
Mm. Yeah. What's some of your thoughts here, Neil, on this?
So I agree with all the sentiments of Nick. I think this is a very fun and very campy but very enjoyable movie. One thing that did kind of impress me is just the fact that this is a remake of the old Universal Studios Mummy movie from the 1930s, and that movie has played much more of a straightforward horror movie with like the lumbering mummy and like, oh, we got to run away from this kind of thing. What's interesting about this movie to me is the fact that it totally changed genres. Like, it is still a horror film, but it's much more of like a action adventure horror film than a standard one. And I thought that change in genre really gave what could have been a really stale premise a really interesting lease on life, and it made the characters like Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz and Arnold Vosloo as Imhotep, and even Oded Fur, who shows up later in the movie, have a lot of fun with the premise that could have been really stale because it's a remake of a very old movie at this point. But yeah, Steven Sommers directs this movie really well, and it feels like a classic kind of campy Hollywood adventure movie, and it's really enjoyable.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser.
It feels like a love letter to like Indiana Jones, the same way that Indiana Jones was a love letter to like the 40s like adventure serials.
Right.
And I feel like what works about this so well is that that even though the material is played fairly straight, like all of the horror elements of this are played fairly straight, the cast, they are sincere, but they're not playing it too seriously. Like Brendan Fraser, I feel like he was a master at working within the absurdity of whatever project he was in, but still taking it seriously.
Yeah. And Brendan Fraser, I mean, he had the perfect mix because he had the good leading man looks, but he also had the humor that worked for him as well there. At this point, he'd already did George of the Jungle at that point, which was 97.
Yeah, my favorite thing is that George of the Jungle is apparently what got him this role.
Yeah, and there's a moment where he even kind of looks like George in the Jungle, like where he's captured there, and he's got kind of this wild looking hair, and he even kind of looks a little bit like from his role in George of the Jungle there. Also, Encino Man was kind of big for him as well. That was kind of like a good comedic role for him.
Yeah, because this was after like a lot of his comedic roles, like Encino Man, like George of the Jungle, like Bedazzled, which I think is an incredibly underrated movie. And this was kind of like his like more serious quote unquote turn as an actor.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome there. And then you mentioned kind of the horror. So this is the scarab here that you have where we see kind of a little bit of effects. I'll play a little bit of it here where we see what it kind of just give you a taste of what it does here.
Yeah. Nope. Oh hell no.
So you got that kind of element of it. Yeah, so that was kind of some terrifying stuff there with that.
And something that I think doesn't get brought up enough about this movie is that all of the stuff with like Imhotep actually awakening, all of the stuff with all of the horror, that doesn't really come in until like an hour into the movie. But you're I feel like so drawn in by the characters and so entertained by this adventure they're going on that the movie sucks you in. I try to picture what watching this movie cold in theaters would look like.
Yeah, it does a really good job of setting up its characters and its world before introducing the mummy. Like you said, it does admittedly take a little bit too long, I think, for the mummy to show up, but it they do a really great job of endearing you to Rick and Evie and that whole gang and making you buy into this world. Because, like you said, Brendan Fraser, he's done a lot of comedy movies before, but like he's in the thick of the action. He's doing the stunts, he's like doing the jumps and the dives and like everything. So it adds a layer of authenticity to like the seriousness of the situation and his role in it. And I thought they did a really good job of balancing out like the campy elements of it, but also making it seem like this is a real action movie and a real like dangerous premise that they're all in.
Yeah. And that so you have a lot of they're in Egypt, so you have a lot of Arab people that are in the movie as well. Some of the portrayals, maybe haven't aged the best there. With like I mentioned, I just see that one guy we saw in that scene who gets killed by the scarab there. So he's kind of like the guy to Rick O'Connell and Evelyn and John Hannah's character there, Jonathan. So yeah, he's the person there that's kind of leading them there and helping them out. With that, so some of that isn't always the best, and then you also have the character of Benny, who's also in this, who's played by Kevin J. O'Connor there, who is like the ultimate just rat fuck weasel character.
And he is the biggest scumbag in this movie, but he is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, like he is this complete coward, complete sniveling there.
He's like if you threw a Safdie brothers character into a horror movie.
Yeah, and then him and
but hey guys, he made it to the other side of the river, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I always love that. I'm gonna play that. That's my favorite line between, because him and Brendan Fraser have this really good back and forth. Because like it's just such an annoyance there for Brendan Fraser's character, how much he hates Benny and how Benny gets on his nerves, and they do a great thing there. But this was always my favorite bit of it. You have then, and before this scene, we see that Brendan Fraser's character threw him off the boat that they were using to travel to Egypt there. But here we go right here with this scene.
Hey, O'Connell! It looks to me like I've got all the horses!
Buddy! Looks to me like you're on the wrong side of the river!
And he ends up working with the mummy. That he becomes like the servant for the mummy character there, who's played by.
Yeah, my favorite thing. Yeah, he's played by Arnold Vosloo, Imhotep is. But my favorite thing about that scene is he just starts cycling through different religious totems and different prayers.
Yeah,
right.
So yeah, Arnold, who plays them, and a lot of things about this movie people also talk about is how attractive the cast is of the movie there. You do have Brendan Fraser there. You got Rachel Weisz there. You have Oded Fahir there as well there, who probably is one of the more positive Arab representations because he's like a strapping hero type guy there. So you have that. At least you have at least one good one there with that.
And fun fact about Oded Fur, he would actually play Dr. Fate in Justice League Unlimited years later.
Oh, nice.
And,
okay.
And Ra's al Ghul in Young Justice.
Yeah. Very awesome there. And I don't know if is the actor Arab in real life there or
he is Israeli.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so he's Israeli there. So yeah, so this role was promised to him 3,000 years ago. Here's that. Yeah. So what did you all think about the kind of Arab representation in the movie there? Do you think some of that stuff hasn't aged the best there with it?
I don't think it's like aged the best, but I also understand what kind of movie that Stephen Sommers is trying to go for. He's trying to make this love letter to like the 40 serials in the same way that Indiana Jones was. And, that movie didn't have the best representation either.
Yeah. And they even had brownface. So you had one guy Benny in brownface. So it's like, hey, truly representative of the 30s and 40s there. So you had that. What do you think?
Yeah, it is definitely a bit of a sign of the times where like they probably could have done a little bit better with the Arab representation. Like maybe maybe making one of the maybe making a couple more of the characters be more like active participants in the story, but it didn't really bother me all that much. It's definitely just more of like a, you know what, we do this better now kind of thing.
Mm. And when they bring the mummy in, obviously this movie being 1999, I mean, some of the visual effects I think still kind of hold up there. I mean, there's the scene that people know of, like where he creates like this huge sandstorm there, where he puts his kind of uses his abilities and magic there, and where they're in the plane. I think that still looks really good. I think that still looks really
Yeah.
good. And when you first see him, kind of where he's his kind of mummified figure, because at that point when he creates the sandstorm, he's already fully got his body back. And the way he gets his body back is he just steals parts from someone else, takes their eyes and takes their, tongue and everything like that. But what do you all think about the effects in the movie and how well those things have aged in it?
I thought the special effects I thought they aged pretty well. I mean, there's a certain rubberness to them that that's kind of indicative of like 90s CGI, but I think it holds up very well. I wasn't like actively distracted by how bad they were. Like, like say The Mummy Returns, which has noticeably worse special effects than this movie does, but the ones in this movie I think hold up well.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree. I feel like with the late 90s, this was also, I think, like the time of like Jurassic Park. The CG was like used sparingly, and there's almost, I think, this uncanny valleyness to a lot of Imhotep's powers and the effects, and that it's not supposed to look natural.
Yeah, I do. That is a good point. I think the fact that it's a supernatural mummy who's like working sand and all these kind of crazy stuff makes the special effects age in the movie a bit more than if they were trying to be more realistic with what the mummy was doing.
Yeah. And a big selling point with this movie, as Neil mentioned before, is how effective it is at being such a fun adventure type movie there. Having such a great cast, having all this great chemistry there, especially between the two leads. I mean, with a movie like this, doing something like Romancing the Stone, or like even like an Indiana Jones there, where he has like a love interest in his movies there, you need a good chemistry between the two leads there. And that's something also people remark about this movie, is how well it kind of handles that of seeing these two people, feel like, sparks are really flying off the screen and everything like that, which is kind of rare. You kind of see that nowadays there, I feel like, in movies. And here's like an example of kind of their chemistry that worked really well in between Rachel Weisz and between Brendan Fraser there, I feel like, in the movie.
Jonathan, you're meant to catch the sun with that.
So what are these old mirrors for?
Ancient mirrors. It's an ancient Egyptian trick, you'll see.
Here, this is for you. Go ahead. It's something I borrowed off our American brethren. I thought you might like it. You might need it for when you're yeah. What are you looking at?
Also, fairly accurate to how I would act around Rachel Weisz.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, she is stunning in this movie. Yeah, she is, really beautiful there.
This is how Daniel Craig feels every day.
Imagine being Daniel Craig. Oh, look at me. I was James Bond. I'm in Knives Out. I'm married to Rachel Weisz. Man, fuck that guy.
I know. But yeah, Brendan Fraser is just so good in this movie. This is like, this might be my favorite role he's ever done.
Yeah.
More than The Whale? More than that?
Yeah, I completely agree. This is that charm and that charisma that just feels effortless, and it makes Fraser such a captivating performer to watch. And I completely agree. I think like this is probably my favorite Fraser performance next to Bedazzled.
And one last thing about Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, I do like how in the sequels they really go out of their way. They really evolve their relationship in a natural way. Like a lot of times in these sort of action movies, when the sequel comes around, they like go back to square one and build up the relationship again. I'm looking at you, Legend of Zorro. But like in the sequels, they get married in Mummy Returns, and they have a kid. And I do like how the relationship just builds naturally on from movie to movie, as opposed to just resetting every time.
Yeah. Um, and with this, I don't remember as much with the Mummy Returns as I do with the
Mhm.
first one.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I think I remember like it kind of isn't as good, and it's kind of maybe carried by the goodwill of the first one. So I think in
Mhm.
this the Mummy franchise, I think because third one is bad. I don't really like the third one all that much.
That third movie is awful. But
Yeah.
I remember really liking The Mummy Returns, and I cut a little bit of it on today because I knew we were doing the show, and yeah, that's something that struck me. You don't see a lot of action blockbusters, especially sequels, where they don't reset the lead couple's dynamic. You get to see like a positive example of like this very healthy and very loving relationship between Rick and Evie.
Yeah. So you do have that. So I'll probably go back and watch it. I mean, I'm in the mood to watch more Mummy stuff, so I'll probably watch the Mummy Returns as well there with that. But do you guys think that? So definitely the first one is the best one there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can't top the original
Mm.
or
yeah,
the remake.
yeah. I think it's pretty. I think it's a pretty definitively better. But yeah, I think it's pretty definitively better.
Okay. Any major issues you guys with the Mummy 1999?
Nothing really for me. Nothing really stuck out on this viewing as like what would be an issue for me. There is, a little bit of wonky special effects, especially towards the third act of this movie, but I feel like it fits in with this story that they're telling.
Okay.
I would say I do think it takes a bit too long for the mummy to show up. Like you said, it's a hour and 50-minute movie, and the mummy doesn't really show up until an hour in. And to be fair, like you're establishing the world and the characters, so I wouldn't want to take that away. But I do think it takes a little too long for like, you know, the stuff to hit the wall and to really get going with the mummy. But that's like the only real major issue I have with the movie.
Yeah, because when does she read off the book? Like where, obviously all these things people read out loud, all these things. It's like Evil Dead. It's like, oh
Yep,
shit, I gotta read this.
Yep. Now I'm not as perturbed of how much Lee Cronin's The Mummy looks like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Right. It's right at the hour mark where she like reads the incantation and he like, pops up.
Yeah, so you got that. So yeah, it does take a little minute to get to the mummy, but it's a fun performance there. And again, I think everybody knows what type of movie they're in and having fun with that. The action in the movie, very much kind of that traditional type action. You have the Rick O'Connell kid; he's got two guns, and then firing always the two guns. You got that kind of element in here as well.
Never needs to reload those two guns either.
Never reloads them 6 shooters.
You have it with that one dude. He had two guns. That shit, he ran. He was trying to fight. It's like, oh shit, he ran out there.
Was his name on the title? Was his name on the marquee? No.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, man, you're expendable. So you had that. Yeah, this is. I mean, man, it was great watching this again. It was great going back and watching The Mummy, 1999. Like I said, I love this movie. I always have a lot of fun watching it. The sequels kind of have a little bit of a diminishing return, especially the third one. We'll see what this fourth one is. It's the guys from Radio Silence who are going to do the fourth movie there. So let's see if they can add a fresh take on it. Something like that. I don't know. They're going to have Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega be like sister mummies or some shit. They going to fight them.
You know what? Sure, why not?
As long as we get the third act tradition of Melissa Barrera covered in blood, I'm in.
Yeah, you kind of got that element. So maybe she'll be in that. Maybe she'll be like a singing mummy. Maybe they'll do that. But yeah, so this was great there. So I mean, maybe see what they do in return to that. It's a classic action adventure that will harken back to those times that will make you kind of have good memories of those times. Like you said, with the serials, like something Indiana Jones does, and I think it does a great job at that. Amazing cast up and down there. Chemistry is just off the charts, especially between the two leads there with Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser, which if that kind of makes it or break it. If you don't have good chemistry, I think between the two leads, and a charming lead in Brendan Fraser, then I think that that kind of everything else will probably fall apart there. Today they'll probably put in like Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney or some shit there. You know what I mean? They'll probably put in, which I don't mind Glenn Powell. No, that's Nick's guy. He loves Glenn Powell. Wild there. And then Sydney Sweeney, who's Ava Braun and everything like that. But so they'll probably do something like that, and then it wouldn't have that same kind of effect there with it. But yeah, man, this is to me is absolute peak there for the Mummy. What about you, Neil? Final thoughts rating there.
Yeah, I think this is a really great sort of goofy throwback to classic Hollywood cinema, and on top of that, it's just a really good film on its own right. It's got all the action and thrills you would expect from a serial adventure film like this, and it really executes what it's trying to do extremely well. Like I said, maybe takes a little too long to really get to where the mummy is, but I think it's great, and I would gladly revisit this several times over, and I think it holds up really well. So peak cinema. This is good. This is great.
Yeah. What about for you there, Nick?
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I, besides Raiders and what was the third one? It was
Temple of
yeah.
And Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. Yeah, besides those two, I don't think there's been a good Indiana Jones movie, and this was really scratching that itch for me. I think it's a fantastic, fun adventure film. It's like a great love letter to those kinds of movies, and I'm surprised how much of the horror of this works for a movie that is, as goofy as this. Brendan Fraser, this is one of his all-timer performances. This entire cast is phenomenal. Yeah, this is damn near peak. This was just a joy to watch.
This movie, very successful movie. Very, very successful there. So on a budget, let me pull it up. I had it one more time.
On a budget of 80 million, its box office was 422.5 million.
That's a really good return.
$9.
Sixth highest grossing movie of 1999 there. Of course, the other movies being Tarzan there, which was fifth. You had The Matrix, which was fourth. You had Toy Story 2, which was 3, and you had Sixth Sense, which was 2, and then Star Wars Episode 1, which was number 1 there.
Boy,
99?
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
boy, all of those movies in the top 5 grossing movies are excellent movies.
Yeah, those are all like peak cinema. 99 is like one of the great years of Hollywood.
Yeah, no kidding.
Best movie of them all, Star Wars Episode 1 right there. And then I didn't know this. So The Mummy had an animated series. I didn't know that.
Dude, I remember this one.
Every like 90s blockbuster movie got an animated series. Like Beetlejuice got an animated show. The Mummy did.
Remember RoboCop, the animated series?
Was this it right here?
Yeah, this was it. This was like the one they released after Mummy Returns.
And it's what, like his son and everything like that? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's supposed to be like a
family,
like the O'Connell family.
Oh, okay. They don't look shit like the people in the movie. Like she got red hair. Like, why does Evelyn got red hair? He's got blonde hair. Like, what?
Hey, they were foretelling the recasting of Maria Bello, who also redhead, but, is like closer.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I didn't even know they had an animated series with that one. A person that was rumored to be Rick O'Connell there. It seems like this dude has always been rumored to be in every fucking role ever in like the early 2000s, 90s there. Leonardo DiCaprio. He's there. Who we just talking about, he was supposed to be also American Psycho. He was in that role. Then he was also supposed to be Spider-Man. He was up for that role too. It's like, damn, this dude was fucking Leonardo DiCaprio there. Up for everything. So he had that as well there with that. So hugely successful movie there. Big fans of it all around. And then a fun tidbit about the movie. So it says Brendan Fraser nearly died doing a scene in The Mummy there.
Yeah,
the hanging scene.
The hanging scene that is like towards the beginning of the movie, which hanging stunts are like terrifying to do. It's like so many things could go wrong on that one. It's like one of the most dangerous things you could do in a film production.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where you can just CGI it in this day and age, and no one will mind.
This is back in the day when men were men, man. They took the hanging, man. You know what I mean? That's what men do. You know what I mean? Pass out.
Take that rope burn like a man.
You got that. But yeah, apparently, he really did like almost. I think he died, and they had to resuscitate. Man, he should have sort of sued the shit out of Universal. They'd be like, man, fuck this. But yeah,
I hope his contract had good insurance coverage on that day, because geez.
There you had that.
Yeah,
But,
and a lot of the injuries he sustained like throughout these movies, a lot of that is contributed to why he kind of disappeared from Hollywood for a while.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
amongst the other thing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, amongst that as well there. But yeah. So that was our thoughts on The Mummy, 1999 there. Very awesome. You can watch it on HBO Max. HBO Max, it's available there. So you can see it there.
And The Mummy Returns. And instead of Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, you could just rewatch those two.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder what the fourth one's gonna be called. This fourth one, I wonder, but we'll see.
I wonder if they would bring back Arnold Vosloo though to be Emotep again.
Yeah, he still looks pretty good. I mean, all the actors still look pretty good. Probably could bring him back there. Did that guy what's his name there? The one Ohead for here. Did he survive Mummy Returns? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay, so he survived. So you can bring him back too.
Yeah, it's like for as violent as these movies are, most of the main cast is fairly safe. I don't think any of the like lead characters died in these movies
or get injured or anything like that.
Yeah, that's not that kind of movie.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna be heading out of here. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you so much, Neil. Much appreciated. Hopefully Nick can join me Friday. I'm sorry, Friday.
Absolutely.
Hope you join Friday there. Thank you to Hunter there as well. Thank you for stopping by, man. Go ahead, raid somebody. Cosmopolitics is on right now. Go ahead, give Cosmopolitics a raid there.
Hey,
good friend there of the channel. So go ahead, give them. Nick, where can people find you? Got going on? What you got coming up next, man?
All right, you can find me on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, Letterboxd at Night and Day Nick. You can find me streaming on my channel, Night and Day Nick, this Saturday with guests Jamarco and Brandon talking to all of the TV, talking Euphoria, talking Maul, Shadow Lord, Daredevil Born Again, Invincible, and The Boys. Just
Very
breaking down
nice.
all the newest episodes.
Very nice there. Neil, what you got going on? What you got coming up next, man?
All right. Well, everyone can find me at Daftneal, DAFTNEAL, on all the social medias, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd, PlayStation Network, and Backlog. Come chat with me about Absolute DC comics, because I've been reading a lot of those recently, and they are quite good. Cannot believe how good these are. So yeah, come chat with me about that or any other movie topic you want to talk about, and I'll gladly chime in.
Did you
and
see?
I'll catch you guys next time.
Lego Absolute Batman.
Oh yes, I did. I'm glad they threw that in.
Yeah. I think it's the first time what comics have competed with manga, right? I don't think before they've really been competing with them, but this Absolute stuff is competing. They're selling, they're in the top 10, something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like
Amazing amazing what can happen when you put effort in and quality into like something different with a lot of your mainline characters.
Well, yeah, they it's that, and plus it's being influenced by a lot of like manga series where like it's a bit more experimental and like progressive with its storytelling and everything, and it's all these books are fantastic.
Very cool. All right, people, stay tuned out here. Goodbye. Thank you.
Catch you later.